Hi everybody, I'm Nienke van Bezooijen from the Netherlands, and I'm in the Circle of Wise Women for the Female Wave of Change, and I'm also mentoring in the Women Leading and Change program. And when I saw the first videos for the Health Month, I approached Inken and asked her, do you need another one? Do you need an inspiring video for all the women in the world about health? Because I would love to share some. So here I go. I can share that recently I was taken into hospital and had a checkup, and they discovered some issues what I need to be resolved at a certain point. But what triggered me most, and what was the first initiation for making this video, was a note from my GP to the specialist saying, this lady is vulnerable for depressions. That triggered me, am I vulnerable for depressions? I went in for something physical, and yes, I am vulnerable for depressions. But is it really depressions? Probably not. I'm vulnerable to putting too much on my shoulders and get depressed feelings around it. So to me, that's something different. So in the Women Leading and Change program, I mentor on how you look to yourself, how you are with others, and how you are in the world. I call it the ecologies. So being vulnerable for depressions is, for me, completely related how I am to myself. What kind of relationship do I have with myself? I'm brought up in a family where my mom was handicapped, physically handicapped, and my father has Asperger's syndrome, and my brother has Asperger's syndrome. So that's two mental issues and one physical issues. And I had my challenges myself as well. I became paralyzed by a viral infection in the spine when I was 17. I was a passionate dancer. So at that time, if you're on completely left side paralyzed, you can't see very well. It's not really helpful for dancing. At that time, there wasn't a cure for this viral infection called Guillain-Barré. And I decided to recover myself because I wanted to dance again. Dancing for me was freedom of expression. So within 2 years, I was able to walk. Did I ever fully recover? Probably not. And yes, I did. Because I can function normally. It's only when you go really into deep test, you'll see that my left reflections on my left side are still not too good. They're less. But does that mean that I am a paralyzed person? No. Nor am I a depressed person. My vulnerability for depression ended up when I was caretaker for 6 people in my family. That's a side effect of having a very small family. And as a former nurse, everybody points out to me, oh, Nienke knows everything what to do. Yes, I can. But setting my boundaries helped me at a long time. But I was overstretched first. I was really worn out by looking after others. There were times that I couldn't even think how to put one foot before the other. So tired I was when I had been visiting my depressed husband in the hospital and going home to my teenagers who were demanding as well. How on earth could I do it step by step? And I remember walking, talking to myself, next step, next step, next step. Is that depressed? Is it burned out? Well, I don't know. But what I learned over the time, that it is really how I deal with myself. I reached out for help, and there wasn't any help, I thought. But I'm the person who have to help myself first, in my mental health, in my spiritual health, and in my physical health. I need to take care of myself first. And when one of my mentors in the Global Institute for Evolving Women said, well, Nienke, perhaps you have to adjust your enormous higher purpose to what the physical body can cope with. I was annoyed because, I wanted to do it all. And I thought, if I listen to my body and I don't force myself and making everything happen, I'm not good enough. What would you feel if you have to step back a bit for mental or physical problems? Does that make you a less better person? I want to encourage you to say, no, you're not. You are not your illness. You are not what's occurring in the body. You are who you are. And it's so beautiful if you can accept yourself for who you are and take care of yourself in the best way possible. And sometimes that requires saying no to the outside world and yes to yourself first, to get enough sleep, to get more hands in your family, to get more hands at work, or just saying, well, not now, maybe later, to others. Not now, maybe later is not always the best advice for yourself. That's temporary, okay. But at the longer term, you need to be healthy with yourself, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I would encourage all women here in the female wave of change to be as healthy as possible. Because with your health, no matter how ill you are, according by doctors, you can be a very healthy person. Was Stephen Hawking ill? Or was he a brilliant person? Was Mother Teresa, when she hardly could walk any longer, or Nelson Mandela, were they ill? Or were they considered as healthy? If we look after ourselves, if we really, really encourage ourselves first to be strong for ourselves, we can achieve more. And within the female wave of change, let's help each other. Help each other in the communities to stay healthy with you. And I asked my doctor, really? Am I vulnerable for depression? He said, maybe, Nienke. If you look after yourself, you will be okay. But if you keep going on only for others, you're vulnerable. So my dear, dear sisters globally, please look after yourself so you can look after others and look after each other here in the female wave of change. I love you all, and please stay healthy.